Hello, and thank you for joining me today. I am honored to share my Learning for Action narrative, which this graphic summarizes so well. As a 6-year-old girl, I dreamed of being an astronaut after watching a space shuttle launch. I grew up to be a biologist, teacher, and NASA education specialist serving my community and country. But over the last 15 years, I've used that knowledge to serve my planet. As we collectively emerged from the COVID-19 pandemic, I again supported the International Space Exploration Educators Conference, affectionately called SEEC. I was struck by Chel's keynote address in which he compared our planet to a space station and resident organisms to astronauts. It was a thoughtful insight into something almost every human experiences when seeing Earth from space, a desire to protect this precious blue marble. As I listened to Chell, I remembered another talk I'd attended just before the world lockdown in 2020. NASA's Dr. Jim Green shared findings from international exploration of our solar system. One of the most startling was data consistent with Venus, Earth, and Mars all having liquid water on their surfaces in the distant past. That's right, our solar system most likely had 3 water-world planets at one time. Learning what happened to the Venus and Mars space stations has provided key suggestions into how to keep our Earth space station in good working condition. After decades of increasing partisanship and anti-science sentiment in the United States, thousands of scientists, including me, were released from federal service in 2025. But like a forest fire, the initial destruction cleared a way for new growth as these knowledge seeds were dispersed into the global community. For myself, I leaned into the opportunity by merging a space entrepreneurship master's program with this LFA climate fellowship. As the 2020s ended, the International Space Station, ultimately a partnership of more than 30 countries, was deorbited. A goal of this research platform was to foster diversification and access. More countries created space programs, while commercial companies built new pathways to space. The result was a complex low Earth orbit ecosystem in which ever-increasing numbers of global citizens directly or indirectly viewed our Earth space station from 250 miles above. In the process, a critical mass of us experienced the overview effect, the profound paradigm shift from us versus them to we're all in this together. It has resulted in, to paraphrase President John F. Kennedy, ask not what your planet can do for you, but rather what you can do for your planet. I have yet to travel into space. However, that didn't prevent me from being moved by the overview effect. The realization that that hauntingly thin layer of atmosphere is all that separates us from a functional space station and catastrophe. Indigenous cultures speak of ripples, so small at first, but then how they grow. Someone has to start them, though. What ripple could I start to protect our global space station? The ancient Sanskrit word loka speaks of complex and interdependent worlds, whether at the level of an organism's body or an entire planet. It is a philosophy at the heart of indigenous cultures. We are all connected to each other and of Mother Earth. Central to my NASA education work was demonstrating how scientific thought can coexist with cultural norms, most notably Native American, in honoring local traditions while simultaneously safeguarding our planet. Science Serves Society S3 grew from knowledge seeds of my lived experiences as scientist, NASA educator, resident on Diné and Anasazi ancestral lands, and international student in Egypt. Modeled after NASA Applied Sciences and influenced by the University of Wisconsin-Madison's LOCA initiative, S3 has offered education solutions that bridge the understanding divide between scientific research, society benefits, and cultural heritage. Our mission has been to inspire the overview effect without necessarily going into space, while also providing technical knowledge to address climate-induced challenges within the local community systems of a rejuvenated Earth space station. 70 years ago, Apollo astronauts gave us a simple yet powerful gift, visuals of the stunningly beautiful yet fragile space station we all ride on through the unforgiving universe. After several Artemis missions, the pendulum thankfully swung from mostly national isolationism to mostly planetary cooperation. Using education, S3 has partnered in our global reawakening to the unique interconnectedness of the only water world left in our solar system. Ahehe and namaste.